Hey guys, Ray from Love Your RV back at you again. Today I was going through some more prep for our journey south. And one thing I always check is this safety breakaway cable switch here. Basically it's supposed to, if something happens where the trailer becomes disconnected from the truck, this wire will pull here and pull this out, and it'll lock up the four trailer brakes, so the trailer will stop rather than be rolling around. I was kind of inspecting it and saw a little bit of a rust on this rivet, and the plastic's looking a bit aged, and it seemed really hard to pull the thing out, so I was afraid maybe when it needed to pull it would snap this plastic ring at the end. So I just decided I'm going to swap it out. Picked up a new one at the local parts place, $12.77 Canadian, so it's really not that expensive. So I'm just going to wire that in, and then we'll go and check and see if all the brakes are working. They just had it crimped in, so I've just put some crimp connectors on there myself. Give you a look underneath there. Okay, so under the pin box here, we got our junction box. This is where the tow cable comes in, and inside here there's a bunch of crimp connectors where all the wires have been crimped, and then they join up going into the trailer over there for your lights and brakes. And then we had a couple wires coming out for the breakaway switch, and there's a loom that I got to put back on that. I also noticed here the ground for this though is looking a little sad. I think I'm going to redo that ring connector, and I'll clean all this up, make sure it's got a good ground, and maybe coat it with something to protect it. Because that would be bad. You get a bad ground connection, then all your lights and brakes would have a problem. Also, I'll do it while I'm in here. Also, a good time to check the pin box welds, see if there's anything that looks cracked. Everything looks good as far as the welds, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so connected the wires up and just dressed the leads back out of the way. I took that apart and filed the connectors, get some fresh metal on there, and reattached everything, tightened it up, and put a little bit of coating on it to keep it from oxidizing. And then we ran the wire loom around the outside here and connected up the new wire and everything. So it says you want to aim it so that it'll pull out straight, so you don't want it pointing down or anything. You want it so if you do disconnect, it'll be a straight shot to pull that out. I think I read it takes about 40 pounds of force to do that. So I'm just going to do a quick test here and make sure the switch is working. When I pull this, I should get some amperage here. I have my clamp-on amp meter on one of the wires, and so that should put power onto the brakes. So let's pull that out. And there we have 12.3 amps. Let's put that back in. There we go. Back to zero. So I did crawl under the rig and went to each of my four wheels, each of the four brakes, and I did the same thing on the wires, feeding them, and I was getting just about 3 amps on each wheel. Also, once I get ready to go, I'll do a test. Once I'm hooked up with the truck, I'll pull it and make sure that the brakes are in fact working properly. So I thought while I was at it out here at the pin box, I'd clean up my tow cable connection here. So there we are, all nicely cleaned up, each of the contacts. What I did is I washed it out, get any kind of debris out of there, and dried it, and then I cleaned it with this contact cleaner. I use this Electrosol contact cleaner from back in my days of TV repair. I really liked it. It doesn't leave any residue or anything, but it does a good job at cleaning contacts. So once I got them all nice, back shiny, back in good conductive state, then I just put a little slight coat of this Permatex dielectric tune-up grease just to lock out any moisture or air from it so it doesn't oxidize. And you say that'll fall in the dirt and get all dirty. Well, what I have is this little cover, so as soon as I unhook, I put this cover on. The company sent this out to me years ago. It's lasted pretty good. And then everything is kept dry and the dirt can't get in there. So I always have good luck with my trailer connection. I've never had really any problems with it. I just had to walk across the road and see what that weird sound was. Almost sounded like an RV's water pump. A little tugboat tied up to the buoy out here. It's like we got a plane taking off. Always a hive of activity out here on the Discovery Passage. Well, there we go. Almost done all my prep work. Cougar's looking pretty good. It's actually looking better than it has in a few years. We're out of here, less than a week to go, and we'll be starting to tow down south to the other end of the island. Till next time, Ray from loveyouRV.com. Stay tuned, folks. Cheers.